I have been rotting, wasting away. More than 1,000 hours on this fucking game. Probably 40% are spent playing Communist China, 40 Yellow China, 10% the Warlords, and then 10% Kurdistan. And I've been working on a massive guide for Communist China because when I looked up Communist China guide on YouTube, I'm not getting results I like. Instead of putting out like a 30-minute guide or something, I want to move on. I want to do other things. So I'm going to use the information that I got from all the testing for this guide, okay? I'm going to put it into this video. Much shorter, but it's going to help you play Communist China. Let's talk about Mao Zedong. Mao Zedong is not the best leader. Mao Zedong is, I think, the worst. This is up for debate. It's between Mao Zedong and Wang Ming. Why are these two in the same category? Why are they the ones that we're talking about right now? They play in the exact same way. As any leader, the first thing you do is conquer all of these warlords. The next thing you do is unite China by destroying the nationalists. As Mao Zedong and Wang Ming, this means fighting a desperate war, trying to carve up China between you and Japan. This lets you go immediately down the focus tree after you win this war, because you will, and then fight Japan with 5 research slots, a fixed economy, extensive conscription on fucking China, so you win. There is a difference in how these two play. There are different bonuses, and there are 2 different focus trees. The reason I like Wang Ming better than Mao Zedong is because Wang Ming immediately fixes your economy. Mao Zedong, he puts a band-aid on it and says, I'll get back to it later. In order to get back to it, you have to proclaim the People's Republic. Then you can fix your economy. That means that you have to go through 2 focuses which don't do anything. That's 140 days. I mean, thank God that God is good and merciful and blessed us with a focus tree for Communist China that is incredibly tiny, but works incredibly well for the kind of game you play. It's small, straight to the point. When you're doing the things in game, they correlate to what you're doing on the outside. Like when you're doing the war tree, you're probably about to fight Japan. It's a very neat focus tree that works incredibly well in my opinion. Granted, it does suffer from like being ancient. So there are a lot of like useless focuses. For Mao Zedong, if you want to fix the economy, it's not just like a 70-day focus. It's a 210-day focus. Because you do all the shit that gives you bonuses, then you make your faction, which there's a focus to do that for every warlord, to make a communist Chinese faction with the nationalists. You can't always do it, so it's nice to be able to do this, but like, come on. So you do that. Also, why can't nationalist China make a faction? That makes so much, because like they can, but you should be able to do it by renegotiating the unequal treaties, I think. Because I don't want to be a fucking Nazi. And Chiang Kai-shek was literally, his wife was a Christian. So the difference between Mao Zedong and Wang Ming is negligible though. Mao Zedong gives you stability and he gives you an extra 10% infantry equipment reduction, which when you stack it with People's War, which is an incredibly defensively powerful focus, like, because it makes it way more expensive to occupy you, and it gives you an infantry equipment reduction. And you don't have a problem with manpower. The economy is all that matters. Mao Zedong gives you an extra reduction to infantry equipment. We can sit here and debate. Is fixing your economy better, or is this better? Because, as we've established, it's incredibly easy to unlock the entire focus tree if you betray nationalist China. So you can fix your economy pretty quickly as Mao Zedong, although it takes the longest out of anyone. You can fix your economy pretty quickly, right? And then you have this infantry equipment reduction, this extra 10%, so a 20% total reduction when you add these 2 focuses, right? For the duration of World War II, pretty much. I mean, it depends on how long you play the game, how much infantry equipment you get back, but especially using the second rifle you unlock, so not the very first one, the basic one, but the one after that. The 20% fucking reduction to infantry equipment makes the reason you use that rifle, because it's way cheaper, just all the more, like, you have way more rifles, which means more Chinese people fighting your battles, and you have as many of those as you want. So like that, in that way, Mao Zedong is sort of a contender. And then you get your own faction guaranteed, which with the generic tree, you don't necessarily, it's not guaranteed to you all the time, creating a faction. With Mao Zedong, it is. The thing is, the construction speed. I wonder if that extra construction speed maybe adds up and nullifies the infantry equipment reduction. See, but if you can fix your economy, see, this is a big discussion that we could have, because they play the same way, and fucking, yeah, the other guy, Zhang Lan, is the best. There you go, that's your answer. Who's the best communist Chinese leader? It's him. The reason is because he can unite China before Japan invades. This mother takes a communist China game and turns it into a yellow China game. I mean, almost. Where you almost have time to fully unite China. You almost have time to invade the two southern warlords before Japan invades. Because Japan doesn't get a war goal on you through its focus tree. It has to justify on you. You get a warning before they invade. That means that they don't get debuffs, but your military debuffs are negligible compared to yellow China. So Zhang Lan not only is fucking the best communist Chinese leader, he might be the best Chinese leader. Because he immediately unites China. You're on service by requirement by default as communist China. But it's meta to switch as soon as you can to extensive conscription. You rush the political annexation path as Zhang Lan, and then you don't take a focus. Because then you can infiltrate 2 states at once, and every state you infiltrate takes points away from them as well. So you just rapidly annex China like that. You can pull this off realistically before Japan invades, creating a situation where Japan has to fight a extensive conscription like united China. See, but you then have to immediately rush the political tree to try to socialist market economy your way out of the economic debuffs. This not only fixes your economy really fast as communist China, because you have all the factories to do that focus, it also fixes you also unlock all the research slots, and they're just right there. It's just a single path that you take. So the communist Chinese tree, when you play it like this, is incredibly fucking powerful. A nationalist Chinese player will be able to counter this. Any fucking player is gonna make things more difficult. If you're fighting somebody as communist China, you're just not winning, because the whole meta as China, as nationalist China, the whole meta as yellow China is just to rush destroying everyone else, like destroying all the other Chinese factions, so you're fucked. But yeah, I literally spent hours, like days in total, working on that fucking guide just to figure out that you can just win as Zhang Lan so easily. And I was in a fucking call with Boba, sitting there like tweaking it, right? And I'm good at tweaking. I tweak all the time. And like I was tweaking away. And fucking I came to, I was like, okay, dude, you can just win as communist China. And now this motherfucker, he played a communist China game, and because he's just better, he cracked the meta and figured out like a bunch of other shit about communist China that I'm gonna tell you now, because I believe what I learned I want to give to you. And I'm not gonna make a guide, probably, maybe I will, depending on whatever. I might make a guide still, but I'll just give you the information I learned now for free. As China, your entire advantage is that you're very difficult to invade because there's no supply and the terrain. Communist China's focus tree plays into this extremely well because you get resistance to garrison modifier, a 50% plus resistance modifier, which is going to make occupying any territory in China that much more expensive. You also have manpower. I mean, come on. You don't have to worry about manpower at all. If China goes on anything above volunteer only, then like it's probably nuclear war. Like if you have to conscript anybody, if you have to go on limited conscription as China, it's probably a fucking alien invasion or something. Like, why do you need that many guys to fight a war? Communist China starts on service by requirement. So the manpower problem that everyone else has when dealing with China is now magnified to such a degree that like you can kill entire fucking America's worth of people and there's still men left to fight. Your only problem is your economy. an entirely united China, I think, starts with something like 80 something. I've counted before civilian factories, so that includes all the warlords and China and Tibet. I'm sorry. It's not a very strong economy even when united, but the infantry equipment reduction and then staying on that second rifle makes it possible to just mass produce divisions, right? And pay for them. Then if you add a little bit of anti-tank to counter the major powers, or what James discovered, which is just the logical conclusion of what we've been discussing, you go down mobile warfare and you take all of the motorized bonuses and then you make motorized artillery and rocket artillery your main attacking tool. You can create a build as China, which is impenetrable. Remember, as time goes on, every nation is equalized. Technology becomes research. If you can't deploy Space Marine elite divisions before China can counter them with their own, then you can't beat China. So there's the T. You use rocket artillery, you use motorized rocket artillery when you put those two together, and you create something beautiful, something that only James could have explained to me. I'm working on something that nobody will expect, but everyone will love. That's an order. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for being here. It's not that you and me have tension, that I don't like you or something. I'm not leaving you because it's a problem with you necessarily. I wouldn't tell you if there was, but thank you. I have to do something. I do have to go. I have to do something. I have to do something. My cat really needs me. He's in a tree, a really tall tree, and he's almost gonna fall out of it, and it's really scary. So I have to go get him right now. So yeah, yep.